This one really, hide your kids, and especially the unborn ones. What can I say?
Yeah, this is reprehensible right here.
It just cracks me up that the people who are screaming that we need to have our guns taken away are the same ones who will call this their reproductive right, even though it was never in the Constitution.
And they don't acknowledge the fact that most of this violence takes place from, young men who came from single mother homes.
Exactly. Planned Parenthood proudly announces they aborted 375,000 babies last year in annual reports.
I'm telling you right now, that's a low number. That they're not reporting the actual numbers.
Probably not. 40% of all abortions in the United States carried out by the PP. That means that they killed 1,025 babies a day.
That's a lot of sacrificing to Moloch.
Yep.
Now, let's just get this straight here. All right. Now, my father was a preacher, a minister. I am not, an uber religious individual. I would say I am a deeply spiritual individual raised as a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, I remember listening to my grandfather give his sermons every Sunday, blah, 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 blah. But the thing is, about 4 or 5 years ago, I'm watching the news, and I don't remember the exact show that was on. And then something reminded me, I'm like, holy shit. My grandfather was talking about this decades ago. So I'm like, okay, I got to look into this. Literally, they, them, we, and us are how demons and devils talk to each other, and then how they refer to each other as.
Correct.
And then when you look at all of the symbols for all of these made-up, sexes, genders, well, let's just call it a roadmap to mental illness. They look very, very close to, certain really bad symbols that you find in
they do.
In like, let's see, I've read pretty much all of the holy books that there are. And they're in there. If you look at some of the demonic and some of the like really bad witchcraft grimoires, have a lot of the same symbols in them.
I got them up on the screen.
Yeah. There we
got
go.
Them up there.
Now, look at that shit.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
I mean, this one right here looks like somebody with a bad haircut getting their legs bent the wrong way.
I think I'm going to do a whole comedy routine and rip each one of these apart. I think it'd be great.
I mean, how you dress on any given day does not magically become a gender. And yet they seem to mix up constantly gender with gender expression.
Yes, they do that because they're using a metaphysical argument, which
naturally
they're the first ones to tell you church and state should be divided. But then they really want the government to pass laws based on metaphysical shit, like being born in the wrong body.
Naturally.
I'm sorry. It is what it is. Listen, I am sure there are about 6.4 billion people on this planet that, took the time to look at the actual model of meat suit they were riding into the cunt canoe here to the real world.
Naturally.
And they figured it out. All right.
Oh, yeah. Nevertheless, I mean, there's studies going back decades, like they've been desperately trying, because, of all the years of Born This Way, to find a gay gene, and they haven't been able to find it. What they have been able to find is a pattern of trauma and behavior that takes you down this road.
Well, I will also say that Mother Nature throws homosexuality into the mix when populations get out of control.
Yes.
I will say that there's probably mechanisms built into everyone's DNA code by the great maker that shit happens at certain conditions. Because listen, we've got like billions of genes in our body. Most of them will never get triggered because the stimuli needed to trigger those genes, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And we don't know what that is. But hey.
Yeah. What we know is empirical reality.
Well, when they did the mouse utopia experiment,
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
a large majority of the male mice were either asexual, meaning that they didn't mess with the lady mice, or they were just savage homosexuals rolling around just doing these rape gang things going on. It was terrible.
We're totally not seeing that either in the human population.
No.
Remember Cologne, Germany, a few years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that totally never happens. Especially when you open up your borders with no with no vetting. Yeah, totally not happening here in the United States. No.
Nope.
Don't look too deep into it. Trust me, it'll just make you sad. Just like this here, because I didn't even know this. 35% of Planned Parenthood's revenue comes from your tax dollars.
Yep. That's why I'm sick and tired of this shit. I don't want to be funding.
Yeah, I thought the Hyde Amendment forbid that.
Well, first of all, I'm a firm believer that if tax dollars are going for anything, voters should have a say on where that money is spent, if it is or is not spent.
Yeah.
All right, I'm getting sick and tired of big government funneling our tax dollars to shitbag programs like this that really have no upside. They don't. It's all bullshit. I'm tired of paying for it. It's just like I'm getting paid property taxes for the lair to go to some fucking school that I don't even kids who attend to get taught about, basically the two-mouth, three-eyed penis that seems to exist.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Teach the fucking facts. We have kids that can't even read graduating from high school. That is unheard of before 1930. I mean, after 1930, it was unheard of. It was very common before then.
Mm-hmm.
They can't do math. They can't do read. They don't know, geography. They don't know bio. They don't know shit.
Yeah. And it's usually in these leftoid shitholes.
Yeah.
Where most of the kids can't even do math at their grade level. And it'll be fine.
No.
Yeah. Because if we try to teach them too much, then it becomes white supreme pizza.
Yeah, well, and they also, listen, the useful idiots and the masses can be easily controlled with ignorance, because if they're ignorant, you can scare the shit out of them. And if they're terrified, you can literally lead them to their doom.
Doom. It's your favorite word in the English
word.
language.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.